What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, retired, legendary, iconic, Hall of Fame, superstar boxer, 5 division world champion, 50-0, the man known as Money, Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. He responds and gives his thoughts on his fighter. He's now turned promoter and founder of Mayweather Promotions with CEO Leonard Ellerby, and they promote undefeated 3 division world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, in which Gervonta Tank Davis, he is 27 wins, no losses, no draw, 25 big wins by way of knockout. He is 27 years of age, 5'5", with a 67-inch arm reach. With that said, there's talks of Gervonta Tank Davis, he facing off against undefeated, rising Mexican superstar, lightweight, junior welterweight, title contender, Ryan Garcia, King Rye, better known as. King Rye is 23 wins, no losses, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 23 years of age, 5'10", with a 70-inch arm reach. Ryan Garcia, he's coming off of an impressive 3 knockdown victory over Dominican Republic star, former world champion Javier Fortuna. In the 6th round, he got a knockout victory or a stoppage victory. Gervonta Tank Davis, he's coming off of a 6th-round stoppage victory over fellow stablemate, lightweight, WBA title contender, Rolando Rolly Romero, star boxer, in which he brutally knocked him out in the 6th round, May 28th, at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. With that said, they have been seen to be on a collision course for quite some time, and it seems like at the end of the year, we can finally get this fight come to fruition. But there's some major hurdles that have been placed in the way, and that's the fact that Ryan Garcia, he signed to Olympic gold medalist, 5 division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who's a Hall of Fame icon and a founder of Golden Boy Promotions, and Oscar the Golden Boy De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, they are rivals, okay? They've been rivals since their 2007 showdown, in which it broke all types of records. And now they are rival promoters. But Oscar De La Hoya, he stated that this fight, if it was to come to fruition, it's going to have to be a joint network in which Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Tank Davis, they showcase their talents on PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor Al Heyman, and they showcase their talents on Showtime with Showtime President of Sports, Steven Espinosa. Ryan Garcia, he showcased his talents on DAZN streaming network, okay? And so with that said, Oscar De La Hoya, he stated that they need to X out Al Heyman, and he needs to do business directly with Floyd Mayweather, and they could get a deal done, okay? But Ryan Garcia placed another hurdle in the way, in which Ryan Garcia, he stated that in order for this fight to happen, the fight has to happen at junior welterweight, okay, at 140. So with that said, Floyd Mayweather, he stated that Gervonta Tank Davis is not moving up to 140. He already had one fight at 140. He fought Mario Barrios, former WBA regular champion, Mexican star boxer Mario Barrios at 140, in which he knocked out Mario Barrios in the 11th round of their fight, okay? But that's his first and only fight at 140. So Ryan Garcia, his last 2 fights, they took place at 140, right? Because Ryan Garcia, he was on a long year layoff, and he came back, and they didn't want to push him to go down to 135. So he stayed at 140. And now this fight with Javier Fortuna, this too also took place at 140, okay? And so now he's saying that he wants this fight with Gervonta Tank Davis to take place at 140. But Floyd Mayweather, he's stating that there's no way. If this fight is to take place, for one, they are the A side, okay? And, if the fight is going to take place, they're going to call the shots. It's not going to be a joint network thing, right? And the fight is going to take place at 135, or there's no fight happening, okay? And then Floyd Mayweather, he says, Ryan Garcia, he's young, he's 23, he for sure could go down to 135 and compete at 135. But Floyd Miller, he says absolutely no way possible that Gervonta Tank Davis is going up to 140. The fight is going to have to happen at 135. He stated that Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya are looking to have the same old tricks that Oscar De La Hoya did when he placed those same stipulations on Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, he then says, when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, he allowed Oscar De La Hoya to call all the shots. But he stated that, but this time the tables have turned. He's the one in position of power. He stated that Oscar De La Hoya, as we all know, he chose the ring size, he chose the gloves Floyd Mayweather wore, and he also, more importantly, chose the weight class in which the fight took place, which was junior middleweight. So he stated that Oscar De La Hoya, he felt like he was going to have an advantage over me, forcing the fight to take place at 154. He said, I never made 154. He said, I've never been a 154-pounder. He said, at best, I was a 130-pounder. He said, in all actuality, I was a 126-pounder, beating 140, 147, and 154-pounders. Now, I do believe that Floyd Mayweather wasn't the biggest guy, but I do not believe that Floyd Mayweather at that stage in his career was a 126 or 130-pounder. Now, 135 pounds, 140 pounds, yes. But 135 may have been pushing it. But 126 pounds, I think that's a major stretch in 2007 for Floyd Mayweather to make 126 pounds, okay? He started his career in 96, and you're talking about 10 years later, you know, Floyd Mayweather fighting at 126 pounds. I highly doubt that he could have made 126 pounds, but I do think that he could have made, if he pushed it, 135, 140, you know, weight classes of that. He's just not a big guy. So he's saying that Oscar De La Hoya and Ryan Garcia think that they're going to have a major advantage over Gervonta Tank Davis by pulling him up to 140. So he stated that that's not going to happen. The shoe is now on the other foot, and there's no way that he's going to allow Gervonta Tank Davis to go up to 140 to fight Ryan Garcia. He stated that, you know, if anything, the fight just won't happen. So now, in my opinion, I think that they shouldn't be going through all of these hurdles and obstacles to begin with, because there's a major fight they could have right there at 135 against undisputed lightweight world champion, superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney, who is 28 wins, no loss and no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout, 23 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. And Gervonta Tank Davis was saying that he wanted to fight against Devin Haney, and Devin Haney said that he was open to making a fight happen against Gervonta Tank Davis. And now you don't have to worry about anybody talking about going up to 140 pounds. You don't have to worry about A-side, because we already know that Devin and his father, trainer, manager, CEO, Bill Haney of DHP, Devin Haney Promotions, are willing to make sacrifices for legacy fights, okay? So they're not going to ask to have to come down to go up to 140. You could fight right there, okay, in a legacy fight. Or you could push to see if two-time Olympic gold medalist, three-division world champion, former unified lightweight world champion, Ukrainian superstar boxer Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko would be available. Because I know people are going to say, well, Devin Haney, he has a rematch clause with former unified lightweight world champion Australian star boxer George Kambosos Jr. Well, let's say that is the case. Lomachenko has announced that he's coming back in October, or wants to come back in October, and Gervonta Tank Davis and his team, mentor, big brother figure, longtime trainer, Coach Calvin Ford, stated that they've been waiting a long time to face off against Lomachenko. So you could push for that fight, seeing as though Gervonta Tank Davis is the cash cow. He's the A side. He calls the shots. These are fighters that would love an opportunity to face off against Gervonta Tank Davis, and there's not going to be any talks of 50-50. There's not going to be any talks of having a fight having to take place at 140. All of that is going to be done away with. So these are easier fights to get made, and they legacy fights. Why? For one, both guys are way more accomplished than Ryan Garcia, okay? They have had legacy fights. Lomachenko is a surefire Hall of Famer, And Devin Haney is building his legacy on becoming a Hall of Famer. Ryan Garcia, like Floyd Mayweather says in this video, has never fought for a world title, nor has he ever won a world title. So you can make it easy on yourself. But he said if it don't happen at 140 and they don't concede to what they want, it ain't happening. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. That's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hi, my name is Heather the Heat Hardy, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.